What's going on, people? I don't know. What's going on, people, and welcome to Have Your Say right here on the Baby Fathers platform. I got the name of DJ Riddler. Right? I'm going to say thank you and big up to everyone once again who's been supporting the channel, who's been supporting the pages, like all our pages, from the Instagram, from the Facebook to the YouTube. Definitely go and big up to everyone, all right? So, yeah, today we've got another topic, another hot topic, I think. This one here today, it's going to be a very serious topic. I think, yeah. Before I even get into that, if you are watching us on a YouTube, I want to see some fire emojis. If you're watching us on the Facebook, I also want to see some fire emojis on there as well. And if you're watching us on the Facebook, give us some fire emojis in there. I want to see who's going locked in this evening. All right. So, yeah. Let's start with the topic then, innit? So the topic today is about birth control. That is today's topic on today on Have Your Say. If you've been on the Instagram and all the other platforms, this was something we have been talking about over the last couple of days. It has sparked up a few opinions. So yeah, we are gonna get into it. Let me see before we get in there. I see. Okay, so we got Mel right there on the Facebook. We got to Christine on the Facebook. Sorry, on the YouTube. Apologies, on the YouTube. And just let everybody know, for the last 5 days, I have been ill. I've been in bed. I've been on Lemsip. Listen, I've had this bad cold, this bad chest, and I've been carrying this for the last 5 days. So if I'm not fully 100 today, please forgive me, all right? Is that man is wounded out here, all right? So the number to get through to us this evening, if you do want to get involved, how can I not give you the number and I'm there talking to you lot? Let me, this is the number to get through to us if you do want to call the studio, all right? So I'm going to bring on my first caller for this evening. Caller, what's your name or wherever you're calling from?
Hi, I'm Kylie. I'm from Reading.
Nice to meet you, Kylie. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Not too bad. How's it doing in Reading?
It's raining.
Okay, well, it's not the best then. I think it's just England in itself, you know?
Definitely.
All right, so today's topic's about birth control.
Yeah.
All right. Now, the question that I am going to put up on my screen, it was something that actually came up on our show. It was to do with... well, I can just read it out to everyone who is literally watching. So it says, if a woman lies about taking the pill, is it the ex-consort or is it a man says he's using a condom, then slides it off? Is it non-console? Hello? Okay.
Hello. Sorry, you cut out there for a second.
My reception just dipped out. Okay, cool. Did you hear the question? Sure.
Yeah, so I read it. Yeah, it's about it being non-consensual.
Yeah, so let's start with the woman first. What's your views on it?
As you know, I was in the comments. Okay. I'm the one that made the comment about it being a false equivalence because one is illegal and the other one isn't. One is rape and lying isn't rape. Okay. So that's what obviously led us here today. So the reason I made that comment, because that little comment section kicked off, was because the question that's being asked, if a woman lies about taking the pill, is the sex consensual? By law, the sex is consensual.
Mm-hmm.
At the moment, lying isn't illegal. Rightly or wrongly, legally it's not.
Well, why do you say that though?
because that's what the law is.
So you're going by what the law's saying then?
I think we have to, because I think when you come to these kind of questions, the way the question is posed is about, if it's like a moral thing, but we've got to be very careful about language that we use.
Mm-hmm.
If we're going to ask, if the question was different and the question is just based on about should it be illegal or should there be like implications to doing that, that's a different question. I'll have a different answer to it. But we've got to be very careful about the language that we use. The actual question is, if a woman lies about taking the pill, is the sex consensual? Yes, it is consensual, because the way the law works, if the definition of what consensual is when it comes to consensual sex is if you agree by choice and you have the freedom and capacity to make that choice.
Yeah.
So you've made the choice to have unprotected sex with a woman at the time. She might have lied to you about that, about the circumstances around being on the pill, and there could be a negative consequence of a baby that you don't want, but we can't retrospectively withdraw consent because you were lied to.
But then would that not come underneath as that, if a woman is lying, is that not underneath fraud? Because a guy has clearly asked you, are you on the pill? She's turned around and said yes. She's literally lied about that. Is that not a fraud?
No, it's not a fraud, unfortunately.
So are we saying that, can we go on this by, so we're trying to say by, this is because we're going by the law?
I think we have to. I think even in that comment section, there were people asking questions about like consent and stuff that were clearly young people that were not experienced with partners or sex, that didn't actually know that. And I think it's very like dangerous for us to be using language that people don't understand, because as community and as society, we're there having these discussions in comments, and that's being consumed also by young people, and they don't actually know what consent means. And I think consent is a very, very dangerous topic to not understand, and that's for adults as well. We weren't taught enough about consent when we're at school, whereas it's quite a new topic to be taught to people. So I think we really, really need to understand what consent is. We need to remove emotion from it, because I can't answer on how that feels for men to be in that situation. That's for you guys and further callers and for men to understand and for me to listen to that. I can't tell you how that feels. That's for me to learn that from you guys. But from a legal perspective of comparing something that's a choice that you've made to do under, you know, false pretenses, but it's still a choice that you made, because you could choose not to have sex with the person. You could choose, I'll have sex, but I want to use a condom. Men can choose to do that. You have to have discernment. Like, we all have to have discernment of, I can make a choice to do this or not. So to then compare it, which I know the commenter isn't saying that it's the same thing. But my thing is, by using an example of actual rape, actual legal rape, compared with something that isn't rape, is a false equivalence, because that's then appearing to downplay rape, which I know the commenter is not attempting to do. But if we're not going to take away emotion and feelings of what we think should be illegal or should have consequences, I think it's a dangerous game to play by using rape as an example. I don't think it's the same thing. Both are morally wrong, but it's not the same thing. That's all the point that I was making.
All right. Well, thanks for your call. I'm sure other people have got opinions on this.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah, I just had someone actually trying to phone. All right, let me take this caller. Thanks for your call, okay, and your opinion.
Thank you.
Take care now.
Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye. 1 minute. Live caller, what's your name and where you calling from?
Hi, hello. My name is Michelle. I'm calling from London.
Misha, before you start, is it possible to turn down your radio or whatever you're listening to? Because I think we're getting some bit of echo.
Yeah, sorry, it's loudspeaker. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can, Misha.
Perfect, yeah. So, obviously, I've seen your question and stuff. I agree with the previous caller, what she said in terms of, sorry, my baby's just in the
That's fine.
in terms of what she means with, like, comparing it almost to, you know, like sort of rape, because obviously it's two completely different things, and it's not logical as well. And so the thing is that, okay, so you're saying that, okay, if she lies about being on the pill, is that sex consensual, right? But my thing is that, okay, so as a woman, you're most likely 9 times out of 10 going to be the primary carer of any child that's conceived or created once this has happened, correct?
Agree.
So of what benefit is it to her to do that? Like, and let's be real, 9 times out of 10, a lot of these men are not able to afford to even take care of their responsibilities alone, let alone with a child. So of what benefit would it be for her to do that? You get what I mean?
No, Misha, I definitely hear you on that. Just to kind of echo to what you're kind of saying, I'm just going to just tell you from a man's point of view, when you said what kind of things can a woman benefit from that, in terms of what I'm just going off the fathers who has come on the show previously, all right? And this is how this topic even sparked up from one of the previous who came on our show over the weekend. Now, regarding to the child situation now, so some women may go and get pregnant because they want to have a baby. They don't really care who the sperm donor is. That can be one option. Even so, she's saying that she would do what she needs to do after. Again, you have some fathers who's in certain situations where he asked the woman if she's on the pill when she really wasn't. She's then gone on to have the baby. He's been very clear with her, saying that about his situation and where he stands in his situation. He's talking about the financial side to it. And then when she's now gone and had the baby, the fact that he can't afford to have the child when he raised that from the get-go, he's then now getting called, CSA getting called on him, hunting him down for money. So again,
but the thing is
these are the things I'm just putting forward.
Yeah. No, but I understand that. But I feel, can I be really truly honest with you?
This is what we're here for. Have your say. Go on.
These are excuses that men are putting forward so that they don't have to take accountability. They don't have to step up to their responsibility. When you lay down with someone, we all know there's a risk that you can either get pregnant or catch an STD. You get what I mean?
Agree.
Men are 100%, yeah, the responsible for all pregnancies, and I'm going to explain to you why. Yeah, one, you as a man, yeah, have the option there to use contraception. You either choose to or you don't. Do you understand?
Agree.
And you know that if the woman gets pregnant, you're meant to, as a man, stand up and step up. Before contraception was a thing, before medical abortion was a thing, what did men do when a woman got pregnant? They had 9, 10 kids, and they all had to stand up and raise the kids. Do you understand it? Regardless, yeah? If we're talking about back home in Africa, the Caribbean, they couldn't run them jokes like what nowadays men are running. Do you understand? If you knew my man up the road got your sister pregnant, you was going to knock on my man's door and you say, Reba, you're going to have to come around that money. That was it back in the day. Do you understand? Obviously now we've got contraception and all of these things. But really and truly, men, it's not even real men, it's boys are using that as an excuse to not have to step up and do what they need to do as a man. A real man is going to say, raw. Regardless of what's happened, the baby's here now, yeah? Let me do what I need to do and take care of the child. That point blank period. Any man that's coming with any chat about, oh, but she said this about the pill and she said that about a pill, you're a man, yeah? You chose not to use a condom and you knew that there was a risk of getting pregnant, yeah? Once the child is here, all of that is out the window. That's in the past, mate. Do you understand? Only little boys sit down and think, oh, but this happened, oh, this, and blame this and blame the woman and blame the baby mom and blame the contraception. A real man is going to say, you know what, F it, the child is here now. Let me do what I need to do as a man. Step up, stand up and provide for my child and take care of my child. End of story. Anything less than that is not a real man.
Okay, I hear you on that, Misha. And a question I would ask you then on that is, if a guy was using a condom and he was having sex with the lady and the condom broke, right? Yeah. And she got pregnant off that, for example, right? And then she turned and told the father, I don't want to have the child, I want to get an abortion, but he wants to keep the child. What happens in that situation?
Well, it's different because remember, the woman is the one that has to carry the child. So let me tell you, when it comes to the options that men have, they have the options to do whatever they do in terms of prevention of pregnancy, in terms of using a condom or abstaining from sex, yeah? As soon as that woman has conceived, it is now her right because it's her body. Do you understand? It's her sovereignty over her being as a person to decide whether or not she wants to keep the child or whether or not she wants to continue with the pregnancy or not. Because remember, at the end of the day, it's the woman that carries it. And remember, childbirth is a very dangerous thing. Like, many women have lost their lives in childbirth. Do you understand? So many women have carried babies. The babies died. They've miscarried. You can hemorrhage. You can die. It's not a joke thing. Do you understand? So what we're trying to explain is that a man only has consent in those kind of decision making up until the point the child is conceived. After that, it's a woman's body. It's not just the child. It's her body as well. So that is her decision. And you have to accept that, because it's her body that's going to carry the child for 9 months. It's her putting herself, her life at risk to be able to give that baby life. Do you understand? And we have to understand the laws of nature, yeah? You're a man, you're not a woman. You don't have a womb, you don't have ovaries. When you're born with your 2 ball sacks and your penis. You understand? Like, that's the thing. In this society, we've got confused. A man is a man and a woman is a woman. As much as people want to say, oh, transgender this, transgender that, all of this stuff, at the end of the day, nature is law. Yeah? When you're born a man, you're born a man. You can never be a womb carrier. You can never be a woman and bring life into the world. When you're born a woman, you can never be a man and decide, oh, okay, well, I'm just gonna, do you get what I mean? As much as lesbian this, all of these things, it's irrelevant. Nature is always law. So we have to be logical in our thought processes. You get what I mean? So that's my take.
Wicked, Misha. Thanks for your call, okay? Big it up, and thank you for giving us a call and your opinion, all right? Thank you.
All right, then.
Take care now. Bye-bye. Live caller, what's your name and where you calling from?
Yeah, Justin, I'm from Reading.
Justin, nice speaking to you, bro. What is your take on our topic today?
I don't understand. It's like it's not even equivalent to me personally.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of guys I see saying that, oh, the woman's lying, this and that. Listen, stand down and say, look, I take responsibility for sex or childbirth or whatever. Why are you putting it in someone else's hands if you're that worried?
Well,
you get 90% of men in this, like I've seen on the chat and that, saying, oh, she lied, she told me she on childbirth. If you're that worried about having a child, or you're not capable of taking care of a child if you have sex, if you go into sex, a condom might be 99% or whatever, there is a chance you're going to have a child. When you take part in sexual activity, there's a chance you have a child. So take that responsibility all the way.
So you're saying don't put your life in another woman's hands then?
No, because if me and you go out to a club and one of us is drinking and you say, oh, you drunk, I'm trust you to drive. No, I'm not taking chances like that. So if I want to not have a child, either say you're not going to have sex or you have sex with a woman that you're prepared to have a child with. And that's what I would tell my child. If you're going to have sex, prepare to have a child with that person.
So with this whole thing about the pill, yeah?
Yeah.
Why, I've actually got the question here. Why do men fall for I'm on the pill talk?
Because they're lazy a lot of the time. Listen, if you're saying to a girl, and let's not take the relationship out of context, if you just met her and you don't know her pill status and you're saying, oh, I've just met this girl, I don't really know that much about her, I'm going to trust she's on the pill. No, take responsibility and wear a condom. But on the other hand, if the girl now says, oh, I want you to wear a condom, and you take that off and you have sex with her, that is rape. Because it's not all about kids. You might have STDs, you might have STIs. She might not even want you to be there back inside her. And you've done that lying straight to her. Just because you have sex with a woman and she's not on the pill doesn't mean you're going to have a kid. If you're consenting to the sex, the thing you're not consenting to is the child. But we don't know there's going to be 100% chance of a child. Do you see it?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. So so let me just ask you this then. So if a woman has told a man, I am on the pill, and she really is not, is that not like the same thing what you just described there though?
Of course it's not, because you're not, when she says you want to have sex with her, the pill bit, I'm telling you, if you don't believe it or you don't trust it, that's on you. But what's also on you is you could wear a condom, because you're not asking her if she's got AIDS. You're not asking if she's got, chlamydia or anything. You're a fool. If you're going and trusting someone else you don't know about, if you're that scared about having a child, wear a condom. Take responsibility. Don't then just sit there 9 months later and say, oh, she told me she was on the pill. If that was my brethren, I'd say, you're a foolery boy. Why don't you put on a condom? You don't even know her.
Okay.
Real talk. But if my friend told me, oh, yeah, I was going to sleep with her and I slid off the condom, I'd say, you are a racist, rude boy. I would tell them that straight away. Because I would never do that. I would never want anyone to do that to my daughter. And like I said, if you are so scared of having a child, either don't have sex or wear condoms. It's that simple. If you're that scared, yeah, or you're not that able to look after a baby, why are you putting it? Do you like boxing?
Do I like boxing?
Yeah.
Of course I do.
The one rule of boxing is protect yourself at all times.
True.
So why would you now sex and have a child for 18 years or whatever the years that's with you for life? You're going to say, I'm trusting this person I don't know or I can't trust. Trust yourself. And in your analogy, if the condom breaks, it breaks. Yo, it is what it is.
Okay.
But you have to listen. There's bare man out there that will go and ride out and do bare things and take a life, but yet they're not man enough to look after a life.
No, I hear you. That is true.
So when we talk about men this and men that, and all these men come on crying about women and that, be a man and stand on your shit. If you never had a father in your life and that, and you have the chance, listen, go out, get a job, do what you have to do, but look after your child. Whether you wanted that child or not, you now have the responsibility because you had the, you know what I mean, your sex session, and now you have a child. Stand on that.
Wow.
Everyone talks about having a child like it's the biggest burden in the world, but yet they're real men.
Agree.
And I'm not here to cry down men or anything like that, because there's real men doing their thing, and there's real bad women, and there's real bad men, and there's real good ones, and there's whatever. But in this situation, those two things are night and day. Like a guy now taking off the condom. If we put children aside of it, because everyone gets caught up on this child thing, a woman might not want to have, like, if you met a girl and she said, yeah, come back to mine and you had sex, and she's like, I'm only having sex with a condom. And you took it off and you don't make her pregnant, but then you give her a STI that then stops her from having kids later on in life. That's more troubling to me. And also the law as well. So let's not forget that. The law says that's rape in the UK.
Okay. Listen, what's your name, sir, again?
It's Justin.
Justin, listen, bro, I'm going to say thanks for your call, man. You made a good point there, yeah?
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you. Thank you for supporting the show, man. Wicked. Take care.
No problem.
If you just locked in, welcome along. What's going on here? And a live caller, what's your name? Oh, let's get this person back. If you just locked in, welcome along. This is Have Your Say. This happens here each and every Thursdays. If you're watching us on the YouTube, make sure you just press the subscribe button. If you're watching us on Instagram, make sure you follow us. And if you're watching us on YouTube, if you're watching us on the Facebook, follow us as well. All right. Live caller, what's your name and where you calling from?
Hey, Riddler. It's Tasha from Northwest London.
How's it going, Tasha? Hi. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
Excellent. So what are you taking from today, this evening's conversation about the birth control, about women being on the pill, lying? What's your take on all of this?
So every single caller that, has called up and everything, I agree with all the points that the callers made. It's just that what's happening is that everyone's moved away from the question, if you've noticed. I'm not sure if you've noticed. Everyone's talking about father's responsibility for children and whether people want children or not, but that's not actually the question. And I think it was the second caller where she was saying that, men have the responsibility to wear condoms and whether they have, control over the woman getting pregnant, all that stuff. The thing is, we just answer the question. It should, and I think the first person said something about the law. And we can't just focus on the law. The thing with the law is that it changes. It can be changed. It can be challenged. Laws are made up. And if you're lying to somebody about being on contraception, it takes away their informed choice. So if two people are laying down together and a woman tells a man that she's not on the pill, and he has a choice to not have sex with her or wear a condom. And I think the last caller said something about wearing a condom, prevents STIs. Yes, we all know that, but it doesn't actually prevent STIs if it breaks as well. So, then you're still at risk. The thing is that contraception is literally just being abused. It's just being abused. It's making people lazy. It's making them do crazy things. Now, if you're in a relationship with somebody, if we put two people in a relationship, because I think everybody's looking at it as a point of, you have a one. That's what it sounds like, situation that everyone wants. If you're in a committed relationship.
Your phone, Natasha, if you could sort out your reception, it sounds like your reception has dropped out a bit.
Can you hear me now?
Much better.
Yeah, so if you're in a committed relationship, I don't know what you heard last.
Okay, yeah, just start from that, in a committed relationship.
Yeah, if you're in a committed relationship with a partner, your girlfriend, or your fiance, or your wife, you're not expecting her to tell you that she's on the pill when she's not. And she's not going to expect you to tell you, for you to do the whole condom thing, take it off. But it is one in the same thing. If you take away the STI, it's exactly the same thing. You are not giving the person the opportunity to say no. You're misinforming them on what they are making a decision on. If you ask them, sorry, I'm just going to go way off. But if you go into, a chicken shop or something like that, and you tell them, can you cook the chicken one way or anything, and they say no, you have an informed choice to say, I don't want the chicken. I know that's so way off, but, you have an informed choice to say you don't want the chicken. So the same way, and the way I'm looking at it is everybody's very, triggered in their situation, and whether the dad will look after my child or whether, the mum tricked me into having this child. So put that all away. Having a baby, supposing no baby is formed from these decisions, or you get what I mean? Just simply put it to the question. If somebody is lying to you before you make a decision, it's not informed, and it should be part of the law. It should be illegal for a woman to lie, just as it is with a man to lie. I have brothers and I have a son, and I'm a woman, and I've been, in situations, and I've got lots of sisters. I wouldn't want either one of them to be in any situation with man or woman. So I think everybody needs to come off the gender battle thing and just answer the question as it is. It's not actually, you're consenting to sex on the false pretenses. So, you're not informing them on the decision. You're being tricked into having sex both ways. So that was my quick answer. Sorry, because the kids are making noise.
That's fine. And another question I was going to ask you, obviously, where you're talking about this whole thing about the sex thing. The question that I was going to ask you then is, if a man has clearly said, clearly said he did not want to have the child, and she told him and said she's going to still have the child, is that father supposed to then show, I'm going to be involved, or what would you do on that? What would advice on that?
As a mother to a son and as a woman myself, yes. The reason why is it goes back to this whole taking advantage of sex. Everyone's just abusing it. It is not on anyone. It takes two to tango. So what I always say to, my daughter-in-law, to her friends and all of that stuff, when you have sex, you make sure you do everything in your power if you do not want a baby, because you're carrying the baby in your stomach. A lot of people look at it, it's the man. No. I know I have the responsibility of carrying the baby in my stomach. I have the responsibility of deciding if I'm going to bring life into the world or if I'm going to take away life, because that's exactly how I look at it. I'm very against abortion. No offense to anybody that is for it, but, I was raised a Catholic, and I just think it's cruel, especially the way that a lot of people are using it as a contraception. And as a woman, that this human is going to be being created in your body. So you have more responsibility than the man. It's something coming into your body. A man's letting off something into your body. So my thing is, yes, he does have responsibility because nobody forced him. Nobody forced him to, be weak. I do apologize. Nobody forced him to have no self-control. If you're laying down with somebody and you don't have the intention of, creating a baby, yes, there's, contraception and stuff, nothing is 99%. And come on, we know that as big people. Moaning about it after is just ridiculous. You decided to enjoy the woman's body, you're going to have to it comes with responsibilities.
Agree.
So, that's what I think.
Tasha, listen, I'm going to say thank you for your call today and thank you for your opinion, all right?
All right, thanks, Ridna. Take care.
Take care now. Thank you for your call.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye. All right, so if you just locked in, welcome to Have Your Say. We do this every Thursdays right here on the Baby Fathers platform. I'm your host, I'm of DJ Ridlard. Also as well, don't forget, make sure you check out our Sunday shows each and every Sundays right here on the Baby Fathers from 10 p.m. where you see fathers come on live to tell their story. Live caller, what's your name and where you calling from? Oh, hold on. Live caller, 1 minute, sir. Apologies. Live caller, what's your name and where you calling from?
It's Zach from the Midlands.
What's that again, my bro?
Zach from the Midlands.
What's going on, Zach? You good, my bro?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you.
All right, King, talk to me. What you got on this?
So, yeah, basically, this topic resonates with me because I'm actually going through this now.
All right, King.
Just to break it down quickly, it was a one-night stand, courtesy of Hinge. Decided I wasn't feeling the girl and went our separate ways. A couple of months later, she shouted me and she said she was pregnant. Again, because we didn't know each other too well, I didn't initially believe her and I didn't care. I'm not going to lie. She sent me a few texts, but again, I didn't take it on board. I'm not going to lie. I did block her and that was that. This was about a year ago. Recently, through my other WhatsApp, I noticed some pictures put up of a baby and the child slightly looks like me. So I shouted her again. I said, all right, let's get a paternity test. And that's where I'm at now.
All right. And Zach, when you lot had unprotected sex, did she turn around and say to you she was on the pill or not?
She did, yeah.
So she told you she was on the pill. So you then obviously done it without a condom, yeah?
Yeah.
And it was
literally once. I'm not gonna lie, it was just literally once.
And when you got told that the child may be yours, did you block it out completely because you're like, I didn't want to know because I don't want nothing to do with this child? Or was it more that you wasn't too sure if the child may be yours or not because how that situation happened?
I was initially angry because in hindsight, I think I did got taken advantage of. And I blocked it out because again, I didn't want anything to do with her. Again, no kids. This was expressed before we did whatever. And that was it. So
at this stage now, how does it work with the both of you? Like, is she saying that you can see the child?
Well, this is the thing. We haven't even got to that because we haven't had a proper conversation. Again, I'm literally meeting up with her because the paternity test is due, and then we're going to take it from there. Again, I've got no kids now, and I'm new to this, so you know.
And how many months or how old is this child at the moment?
So the WhatsApp picture she put up was about. It said, "Oh, my clone," and it says 3 months. Okay.
So is she willing to have a conversation with you?
She is, to be fair. She is.
Okay.
She obviously does want to sort things out, but again, I feel I've been duped. The anger has gone a bit down, but I am taking it in my
stride
paces, you know? Yeah.
And Zach, let me ask you this. Have you got any other kids?
I haven't, no, because again, I'm 3'5". I've been careful throughout the years, you know?
So the one time you wasn't careful, the one time you get bun.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. I hear you. Zach, listen, I'm gonna say good luck to you in your situation. I do hope that it can work out and you do get to be involved in your child's life. Is it gonna be if the paternity test comes and the child is yours, you're willing to step up to the plate?
Initially I wasn't. I was gonna just, but I do live by honor, and I will do what needs to be done, because I've grown up without a father. It's not nice. So I will do my part, I will do that. It's as simple as that, really. I can't say I'm enthusiastic, but I will do what needs to be done.
Well, bro, listen, what I'm going to say to you is respect for being honest, all right? And I said, I wish you the best in your future with your child, and hope that it can work out and it can be where you're involved in that child's life to do for you and a mum to give that child the best option in life. All right, my bro?
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Respect, Kingman. Nice.
Take care. Thank you. Bye.
Right, take care. That was Zach from the Midlands. Big up to Zach. If you do want to get through to us this evening, I'll bring up the live caller. I'll bring up the number on screen. Live caller, wait 1 minute for me, please. So if you do want to get through to us this evening, this is the number to get through. Live caller, what's your name and where you calling from?
Good evening. It's Tanisha calling from South London.
All right, Tanisha. How can I?
Whose name is that, Tanisha?
1 minute. Hold on, I've got another caller. Caller, who's phoning right now? We're gonna call you back. We've seen your number on the screen. We're gonna give you a call back, all right?
Okay.
No, not you. No, stay there.
Oh.
There's someone on the phone who's trying to get through. All right, okay. Anyone, if you do to try and phone us at this time, just drop us a one call and we'll phone you right back. All right, caller, what's your name?
Kalish.
All right, hold on. Stay there. I'll apologize in this. Okay. Hold on. All right, people, today the phone line is going crazy. Let me just message this person here to let them know we are going to call you back after we finish speaking to another caller. We going to, hold on. See everybody, yeah? All right. So again, if you're watching us on the YouTube, make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you're watching us on the Facebook, make sure you follow. And if you're watching us on the Instagram, make sure you follow the page as well, and make sure you share to a friend as well. All right, so I just finished mentioning that caller there. Let's go back to the last caller. All right, I do apologize. All right, people, I do apologize in this.
Good evening.
Good evening. I do apologize, and we just had so much people trying to just get through, so I had to just drop texts to let them know we are giving a call back to them once we finish talking to you. All right. So, what's your name? Where you calling from? Sorry.
Let's try again. So, Kalish from South London.
Okay. Nice speaking to you. So, what's your views on this topic this evening?
I've got kind of two stories to do with the same thing. I'll start with the condom one. There's a guy that I used to see regularly. So we had a sexual relationship. The last time we did have sex, he did take off the condom mid-sex. And it wasn't to my knowledge that afterwards. Okay. Now, he felt like he had contracted something from me. It then found out that he got thrush from me. That's why I wanted to use a condom in the first place. Now, I felt horrible in that moment because ultimately it wasn't my fault. We had took precautions, so that wouldn't have happened if he took the thing off. But the aftermath that I got definitely wasn't justified given the actions that he decided to take. So that's one side of the argument. Definitely feel like it was it's really hard in those situations to call it rape because obviously the sex was consensual. But at the end of the day, even with sex, it can be changed at any consent can change at any point. People need to remember that. You can be in the midst of it and still decide no. And that should be okay. So I think that's a valid point. But I do find it still, as even though that's happened to me, even though I have been even raped in other situations, I still find that situation very difficult to call rape because, like I said, we had a sexual relationship anyway. It's like unfortunate, but that's just another sort of layer of, being a Black woman in the society, having those sort of words thrown about, as well as having those things happen to you and not believe it's complicated in terms of how you can receive the words or want to use them. But obviously we understand that lawfully that's what it is. Now, on the other flip coin of things, I remember having a sexual relationship with a guy, telling him I was on contraception and that I'm not wanting to have kids and whatnot anyway. Unfortunately fell pregnant, and despite using contraception. And I made the decision straight away that I don't plan to go through with the pregnancy. I don't have an interest in having children. I'm very good, thank you very much. And he kept on saying to me, am I sure? Am I sure? Am I sure? I was very sure. And I even gave him the situation of, if you want a child that bad, I will birth it, give you the right so you can have the child. Wow. And suddenly their tone changed. Suddenly they stopped telling me, am I sure?
Yeah.
Because I made that point of, you're quite happy to be a weekend dad, but you don't want the full responsibility of what it means to have a child.
Yeah, no.
So I can see it from both sides. I just think at the end of the day, we're at this point in society where people are running around saying that they don't believe in abortion, but then are licking their things around like no one's business.
So
go on.
Go on.
No, I was just going to say, it's got ridiculous. I had a mother who had me at 19 years old and then grew to resent me. And I'm now having to deal with the mental repercussions of having a parent that didn't want me.
So I'm not,
and that's affected my relationship.
So I'm not trying to go deep in your parents' business, but was your mum and dad an item, or was it something where they were just kind of just seeing each other and then you came along?
They were an item, but it was very toxic and a lot of abuse going on.
Okay. Well, we're not going to go too deep into that then. So with the relationship with your mother now, is it more down you feel like you've been neglected by her?
We don't talk.
Okay.
We don't have a relationship anymore because I've spent the majority of my life being like, why don't you like me? And even before I decided to fully remove myself, I asked her, I don't think you like me. No, I didn't even ask her, it was a statement. I said, I don't think you like me very much as a person. I think you love me because you have to, not because you want to. And at no point did she correct, rebuttal, change, or say anything. So she's quite happy to let me believe that. I think that's all my answers.
And how long haven't you not spoke to your mum for?
It's been about 3 years now.
Okay. And do you find that it affects you?
Absolutely. It's affected every single relationship I've had. I already didn't have a relationship with my dad. Do you know what I mean? I already was put in the situation via her of having access to him, but clearly that being a person that I shouldn't have access to.
Okay.
So I think on the receiving end of like, say, being older and dating and having sexual relationships and stuff, hearing like people like Zach's story, other people's story, it's frustrating as fuck to me as someone who has come from a single mom, from a young mom, and also grown to have these different sexual experiences. It frustrates me that there are clearly some women out there that are willing to raise whole people for the sake of, I actually don't even know what the sake of, for what, because it's not like you can get house and that now. Do you know what I mean?
It's changed
not like there's it's not a benefit, like in terms of the benefit system. I don't know why people are rushing up to have pick me out of force for what? Who is it benefiting? Because if that child then grows to have an equally bad relationship with each parent, what has that done for society?
True.
Creating another emotionally complicated person.
Well, do you think they make them feel unwanted?
Absolutely. The resentment that a parent can give to you, whether they realize it or not, of your plain existence. That's scarring. That's traumatic. So I think, like I said, sort of like being on the other side of it now, I unfortunately meet a lot of guys that are in those sort of predicaments, and I don't get personally how, but it's also like, I guess there's women out there that are willing to just bring up kids alone. I don't know. I don't get it, or I don't.
So do you have any kids?
I would love to know. No,
okay.
No.
Okay.
No. Because my thing is, I am not bringing a person into this world just for fun.
Agree. I hear you.
Like, it's a whole human that I would have to take care of. I can barely take care of myself. That you want me to wake up every morning and worry about another mouth to feed. No, I'm good. I'm good. I enjoy my freedom. Thank you very much.
Listen, I want to say thank you for your phone call today.
No problem.
And obviously, thank you for sharing that story with us as well. Okay, and I do hope one day you and your mum can see eye to eye at some point.
That's done, brother. Because the unfortunate thing is with parents, even being an adult now, that's her choice.
Okay.
That is her choice. She's the parent, and it doesn't matter how old I am. She's made the choice to say to me from a child, if I did not have you, I could have done X, Y, and Z. Is that fair for any human being to hear ever?
Not at all, because she's making you feel guilty for something that you didn't ask
for
to do.
Our own existence. So, yeah. So don't have kids, people, if you don't want them. And I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their evening.
Okay, thanks for your call. Yeah, thank you very much.
Right.
Take care. All right, people. Big up to the last caller. Definitely some good points there. I was going to say, listen, to everyone who's watching right now, I want to big up to everybody right now who is watching. We do appreciate it down here. All right. If you just locked in, welcome along. It's Have Your Say. We're talking about women who lie if they're on the pill, and men who would like to take off the condom about telling a woman and then doing what he's doing. Let's get this caller on. Live caller, what's your name and where you calling from?
Hi, my name is Paul, and I'm calling from Sheffield.
Welcome, Paul, from Sheffield. How you doing, sir?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good, yeah.
Okay, so where you stand on this conversation this evening?
To be fair, like I'm against it in all contexts because I feel like it's a violation on so many levels, not just for the child, but for the person who's not consenting to what lies are going to bring forth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, because obviously we understand men and women see things differently, one from a logical perspective and one from an emotional perspective. But at the end of the day, if one action only considers one person and it doesn't benefit anybody else, it's ultimately selfish. And in an act like that, yeah, you can say stealthing is bad because you have sexually transmitted disease which can come from it. But ultimately, when a human being comes out of a selfish act like that, there's no coming back from it, because the ramifications for that goes deeper than just, oh well, I feel to, or I think it's mine, or if you didn't want a baby, you should have put something on it. Do you know what I mean? Because the whole point about contraception, let's be honest, we're humans. It's like taking somebody to a sweet shop and then telling them don't take no sweet from there. It's almost unthinkable, especially when you've had sex. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you will start to think about it from a perspective of saying, does your pleasure matter more than mine? If you were to be cynical and start thinking from that perspective. But if you were just to think about it from a logical perspective, you're robbing people of their choices just because you want to have something. And that's, again, not taking into account what you need to be doing to ensure that you get with somebody who actually wants what you want.
Agreed.
So as a man, it's definitely on us to be responsible enough to not be led by our sexual desire. You get what I'm saying? But at the same time, if you've guarded yourself and you said clearly to a woman, I'm happy to not sleep with you if you're not protected, then that should count for a whole load of something.
So would you say that this thing about men and this, they are falling for the pill talk? So if a woman's telling them, I'm on the pill, some man are just it's like they're using this pill thing like that. That's the most powerful thing ever that can't create a child.
Nah, you know what? I'll be honest, I've fallen victim to this topic. That's why I feel strongly about it. However, I've also learned from it, because you can't be naive. As a man, you can't turn around and say, oh well, she said she's on the pill, so I'm good. Because ultimately that's your body as well. That whole narrative, my body, my choice, kind of plays onto men as well, because it's your body. The minute something leaves you, then you've lost your choice, because you don't know what her mindset is if you've not really checked her like that. But if you've checked her and she's still carrying on in that context, then it is still your responsibility to be able to say, if I don't want kids, then I need to say it clearly. And if you can't demonstrate that you have the ability to understand what I'm saying to you, then maybe we shouldn't be having sex. And a lot of the time, going back to my first point, when I'm saying people could start saying your pleasure is more than mine, then, because that is manipulative and it's toxic, because you could then start saying, well, I've got needs too. Well, get over yourself. We just want to have sex. Okay, you want what I want, so let's do it. But under what context? Is a baby going to come out of it? Or are we just doing this for the instant gratification, which is sex? Do you know what I'm saying?
No,
and that it has a heavy weight to bear when you then turn around and say, well, if you didn't want a baby, you should have wore a condom on it. What's the point in living in a skeptical world, or in a skeptical way, where you're thinking to yourself, I can't trust this gal, I can't trust this man? Like, nobody will have a healthy relationship if you're thinking that kind of way. Do you get what I'm saying?
Agreed.
So to a certain degree, you need to be able to have a level of trust with discernment. So if somebody goes past that, they choose to lie and say, yeah, I'm this way, when they're not. Genuinely, I think, nah, man, that's low down and dirty, because what's going to happen off the back of that is you're going to have ultimate control. That's why it's called coercive control.
The
you know what I'm saying?
Used there, yeah. Yeah, I'm with you.
You know what I'm saying? And because you're now saying, using the picnic or the outcome of that, and let's not kid ourselves. A lot of women do that. There's women who don't do that, but there's a lot of women who do that, and a lot of women will pay a blind eye to that. They will also say, yeah, well, live with it. I've got your child now. If you don't like what I'm doing, tough.
Yeah.
And all of that narrative is not something that's uncommon. It's very common to the extent multiple men experience it via the systems that we all complain about, because if you don't like it, you have to deal with the consequences of going to court, spending bags of money to be able to even have access to your children, because somebody made a selfish decision to say, I don't care what you want, I'm going to lie to you, and you're going to get me impregnated, and I'm going to have something over your head. That's as black and white as it can be, regardless of whether you should have worn a condom.
Yeah. Well said, Paul. Listen, Paul, I'm going to say thank you for your call. Thank you for tuning in as well, okay? And big up to the Sheffield crew this evening as well, yeah?
No worries, man.
What's the weather? What's the weather saying down there? Is it raining?
Been raining all day, man.
Okay.
but you know what? It has its sunshines at times, but most of the time at the minute, it's let's get on with it.
Bless. Respect for that, bro, yeah? Look after the little one, man.
Yeah, man.
Take care,
yeah.
Respect. Nice.
All right, take care.
All right. Big up to Paul over there in Sheffield. I tell you, a lot of people have been coming out of a whole heap of views today, good points as well. Yeah. If you really want to get through to us this evening, this is the number on the screen. That is the number to get through to us this evening. If you want to get, if you want to have your say right here on the Baby Father live caller. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Me, Fresh for Fathers, the person that started this whole debate in the first place. Good evening.
Listen, bro, if you're next to a radio or something, or your TV or something, I don't know what you're next to, please turn it down, because we're getting a bit of feedback.
I've got my headphones in. Let me just take them out one second.
Bro.
One second.
Cool.
Yeah, is that better?
Much better.
Okay.
All right, so you're definitely right on that. You started this whole palaver. I can't say palaver, the awareness. All right, so a video went up yesterday of a guy talking about being him getting a lady pregnant, and then your comment was what we got on the screen here. So what was your whole thing behind this message you wrote here?
So there's several things. The first thing is people are getting too tangled up in the example that I've given, the second example. Now, let me just clarify. I'm not here to say a man taking off the condom, stealthing, is equivalent or just as bad. I'm not here to argue and debate which is worse, right? What my point is we can accept that that woman agreed to have sex with that man on the basis that he has used a condom. Yeah, that's the first thing. Now, obviously, with stealthing, let alone the risk of pregnancy, she might have an STD, However, all of that is irrelevant, because if a woman says, I will only have sex with you if you use a condom, she doesn't even need to give a reason or an explanation beyond that. That is it. That's her boundary. That is it. Right? So all this extra stuff about what she may or may not, that's irrelevant. The point is boundaries and autonomy. Yeah?
Mm.
That's the first thing that I want to say. Can you still hear me? Yeah?
Yeah, I can hear. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm hearing a lot about, oh yeah, that example is a false equivalence. Now, false equivalence is basically comparing apples to oranges, saying, that's like me saying, well, oranges, they're acidic and apples are fruit as well, so they must be acidic. I'm not here to debate which is more acidic. I'm here to debate that they're both fruit. Yeah? Yeah, they're both fruit. We can agree on that. Yeah?
Yeah.
So, the first point I want to make is informed consent. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So, to make informed consent in a medical capacity is based on the moral and legal premise of patient autonomy. You as the patient have the right to make decisions about your own health and medical conditions. I'm going to tie why it relates to health in just a moment. Okay? Now, informed consent, some of the principles are you must have the capacity or ability to make the decision. The medical provider must disclose information on the treatment, test or procedure, including the expected benefits and risks, and the likelihood or probability that the benefits and risks will occur, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, the success rate of the contraceptive pill, fewer than 1 in 100 women will get pregnant in a year when using the pill correctly. Typically is around 91% effective. Now, if you tell me I've got less than a 1 in 10 chance of getting this woman pregnant, I might roll the dice on that. Yeah? But that's my trait. Yeah? Now, when you're talking about informed consent, one of the key components is decision-making capacity. And that includes the ability to understand the option, the ability to understand the consequences of choosing each of the options, and the ability to evaluate the personal cost and benefit of each of the consequences and relate to them on your own set of values and priorities. Now, you as a man might not be in agreement for abortion. And further, you can't dictate whether a woman does or doesn't have an abortion. No argument there, no issue with that there, right?
Mm-hmm.
By the woman, the hypothetical woman in this instance, what could the incentive be for her to lie about being on the pill? To alleviate your risk and your concern of potentially getting her pregnant, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, the next thing is, all of this argument about, well, he should have just used the condom. Whoa, if, right, she puts her trust in him to use the condom, let's not even talk about taking it off. Let's talk about he tampered with it and it's been compromised. And then she falls pregnant. She put her trust in him to use a condom. So why can he not put his trust the same way in her taking the pill that she said she has taken? Further, yeah, what if a man has used the condom in the past and breeded up women? Because that happens. Of course it happens, right? So he's saying, well, you know what? I will lay down with you, and I will use a condom, but I can't really put all my trust in this condom. So are you definitely sure you're on the pill? And she says, yes. She has taken away his capacity to make an informed decision. And that is what this debate is about at the end of the day. And I think too many people are getting lost in terminology and wording and law. Yes, well, I'm not even going to agree which is worse. That's an argument for another day. You lot can debate that when I come off the phone. But that's not the point of the argument. The point of the argument is you not allow that person to make the choice. And effectively, what happens in these scenarios is, and we live in a fantasy world where, he should stand up, he should be a man, listen, yeah? The key crucial difference between men and women is what? Men don't get pregnant. So If he breeds her up under false pretense and she never hears that from that man again, she can sit around her red table and this and that and this and that and lie and tell the truth. It doesn't matter. The reality is she's the one that may carry the burden of having that child and have to raise that child by herself without the support of the man, regardless of what the man should or should not do in that situation. And the reality is this. Even if he steps up and he's like, you know what, it is what it is, that's still my you. I can assure you, I implore anyone to call in now and tell me I'm wrong, right? I can assure you that foundation of that co-parenting relationship is built on a foundation of sand, yeah? That man will never trust that woman again.
Mm-hmm.
The resentment is already there. They're never going to agree on anything, and he's never going to trust a word that comes out of that woman's mouth. What kind of foundation is that to raise a child?
No, hey, you agree.
So it's like, yeah, that's my 2 cents still.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks for giving me the floor still, but yeah, that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, no, well, you cleared up what you put it out there, I think, which was good. So thanks again, my bro. And again, you was on a baby father a couple of months back, innit?
Yeah.
Can you remember what episode that was?
Oh, I can't remember what episode it was, but I got 50-50 custody. So anyone's locked in that wants my support, just holler at me.
What's your socials? Let them know your socials.
Fresh for Fathers. As soon as I come off the phone, you're going to see me in the YouTube comments and the Insta comments. And I just have to big up Natasha and Coco and a few other people. Can't remember their names, but it was coming hard.
Man. Bless my bro, yeah? Thanks for coming on, yeah?
Cool.
All right, respect my brother. Cool. Make sure you put in it on the YouTube so I can put your acts on the screen, yeah?
All right, no problem.
Respect my brother. Nice. Yeah, it's been a definitely interesting conversation today. I'm going to maybe take 1 to 2 more callers for this evening. And then I think, we're going to wrap it up. And then obviously I'll do my little bit at the end. And then, we're going to wrap it up. So if you're watching us on the YouTube and you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you have not, if you follow us on the IG, haven't followed us on the IG, make sure you follow us on the IG. And if you have not followed us on the Facebook yet, make sure you do that as well. All right, let me get this caller on live. Live caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, it's Justin again from Reading.
Oh, well done, Justin.
I just want to reply to what the brother just said, Fresh for Father.
Yeah.
He said he's comparing that they're all fruit. No, one is literally against the law and the other one is a lie. So, yes, he's right, they're both wrong, but one is literally can get you locked up.
So you say that one is, so you're saying one could be poison and the next one could just be one
could be poison and you can survive. The other one is death. Like, this is not apples and oranges, or like he's saying that it's apples to apples, like they're all fruit. They're not fruit. One is literally against the law. It's rape. It's like tantamount to the third worst thing you can do.
Yeah.
And in the other instance, like if the woman says, "Oh, you're going to wear a condom," we're thinking that's 98% correct. Yeah, cool. She's got no backup plan. Like if he says I'm wearing a condom and she's not on the pill, there's no backup plan. If she says she's on the pill and you wear a condom, you've got a backup plan. You have a backup plan. In the other instance, she has no backup plan.
True.
And he said, "Oh, it's not about STDs and this and that." I don't know why everyone is always like hooked up on the kids thing. Forget the kids thing. And he's saying, "Oh, it's all about consent, informed consent, and if you're in the medical field, it's informed consent and this and that." Yo, my brother, you can't. I don't know how I can put this any other way, but you're doing harm in the second instance. In the first instance, you have consented to sex, unprotected sex. And everyone's saying, "Oh, well, if I knew that she wasn't on the pill, I wouldn't have done it." The other brother said he met the girl off Hinge and they're back to on the one night. I don't care what she said that she's on the pill or not. I'm not doing that. You have to take responsibility as a grown man on these decisions, and decisions have consequences. So if we do these things and we speak to other men and say, "Oh, brother, yeah, she's just as bad because she wasn't on the pill," no, take responsibility for what you did. You decided to put your things in a girl you just met. And I'm not having a go at Zach or whatever his name is, just saying men in general. We should speak to other men as men and say, listen, we should control what we do and stop having a go at women for what they do. Women lie, men lie. You know, everyone knows that. So when we have consequences, from our own actions, take responsibility for your own actions. She didn't trick you into going bareback. You chose to do that. And everyone's saying, but that's based on the information that she was on the pill. Or for someone you just met off Hinge, good luck.
But also as well, we have to say that this is also in general as well. This happens in boyfriend and girlfriends relationships. So it can be where people are also together in a maybe in a long term. Someone, the guy, she's told the guy she's on the pill. He is being very vocal that he does not want any child for now, and then she falls pregnant. So it can be a one night. There's some man out there, he's been sleeping with a girl for 2-3 years when she's supposed to have been on the pill, and all of a sudden she falls pregnant. So that is another way to look at it as well.
I hear you, and this goes back to my original thing. Do not, as a man or a woman or a grown adult, do not have sex with anyone you're not prepared to have a child with. Nothing is 100%. So unless you say, listen, she cannot have children, or I cannot physically have children, don't have sex with someone you're not prepared to have a child with. I don't know why everyone's caller said, that like you should be abstinent or whatever. No, just choose someone that you think, if I have a child, then listen, this is what it is. But if you think that a pill or a condom is going to be 100%, then you'll find out the hard way.
Yeah. A
lot of us fathers will find out. That's what he said. Yes, apples and oranges are both fruit. Which one? Like you say that in the Garden of Eden, there's bad consequences for either one of them fruits.
No, I hear you, bro. Paul, listen, thank you for your call. Yeah, I got another caller there. Who's tried to get through. All right.
No problem.
I respect my bro. Thank you again for your call, man. All right, people. Definitely it's very interesting. We're actually doing overtime at the moment. All right, I'm gonna give this caller here a call, as they did try to get through to us a few minutes ago. Caller name and where you calling from?
It's Nicole from South London.
What going, Nicole? South London hot tonight.
Hi, good evening.
Hi, good evening. How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. No, I agree to an extent for Freshful Fathers.
Okay.
He makes some valid points about the concern and, capacity to make informed choices. And also with Justin as well.
All right, so what is it? What is it that you're actually with him with? Like, what's your thing with him? What's this whole thing? What's your outtake on this? How do you see this in terms of a woman lying to a guy that she's on the pill? How do you see that in your terms?
It's really bad because I actually had friends that done this, and we actually are not friends anymore.
Okay.
And yeah, she lied because she wanted to trap the guy.
So she actually felt pregnant for the guy, yeah?
Yeah, she did. It wasn't like a one night stand or anything. Like they were doing it for a while, but she lied. My thing is as well, like we both know the guy, like we're both friends, but obviously, she was doing her thing cool. She ended up trapping him. He's complaining. I'm like, but why didn't you also strap up? Do you know what I mean? It's all very well like, oh yeah, it's always on the woman, but you can be extra and strap up too. I stopped talking to her because what she done was wrong.
Yeah.
And I also I said to her, like, well, if you're stuck with the guy, you're stuck with the child because he didn't want nothing to do with you and you can't complain. That's how I feel on it. If you choose to lie to somebody and then you end up getting what you wanted, if he's not around, then deal with it.
So did she want a baby from him, or she just wanted a baby in general?
She thought by having a baby with him, he would be with her.
Okay. So she was trying to. So it was more like she's trapping a man, thinking, yeah, if I get his child, I get the man as well.
Yeah.
And was he seeing other girls as well, or was it it was just only him? Him.
No, he was seeing other people. So he had his wife. He had a whole wife.
Wow.
This is what I'm saying. Like, not only did he have a wife, he was seeing her and seeing some other girl. So it's a bag of nonsense. But yeah, take the child out from it though. Like, he could have got sick. He could have gave her AIDS. You know what I mean? Like, completely messed up her life.
the same thing with her. He could have gave him something, probably made it. You know what I mean? People are like missing the whole point. And again, going back to the law, if he lies, like, okay, the sexual act is conditional. So if someone said, okay, I'm going to have sex with you, but this and that, if you then remove that, it's against the law, whether it's a man or woman. So it's conditional consent because there's conditions on it. So if you remove that, then yeah, it's against the law. If a man removes like the condom halfway through having sex, that's rape. I don't know if you remember, like a few years ago, there was that man that went around sleeping with women, knowingly having HIV and giving it to them.
Okay.
I don't know if anyone knows about that story. There was a guy, literally, he knew he had HIV and he went around having unprotected sex, infecting women. He wanted to infect as many people as he could. That's abuse. And you've got people like, not saying like to that extreme, but you've got people that they just don't care about other people and their health, and you know what I mean? Like you could pass something to somebody they don't know. Again, I think what was his name? Reese or something? The last caller.
The last caller was Paul. I think his name was Paul. The last one, I think it was.
Oh, like, well, but, you know, could pass something on, and it could affect them later on in life. Like, suppose they meet a husband or he has a wife, then they actually want to have a family and they can't because of their actions or someone else's actions, basically.
So just want to go back to that part where you said about your friend or who had it end up having a child. Was she allow him to be involved in that child's life after?
Yeah, but he had already explained to her that he didn't want kids because he already had a wife at home with kids. He didn't want no more kids.
So she was just a bit of fun.
Yeah, but the reason why I don't fault him is because he was very clear at the beginning. And she knew what it was, but then she developed feelings and was like, okay, well, I'm going to track him. And that's what happened. And
then did his wife stay with him after?
No, he's divorced now.
Oh, God.
Sorry, I shouldn't laugh because what happened was he ended up getting another girl pregnant and the girl turned up at his house. So
with the child?
Yeah, with the child. So it became a whole big thing.
So you sure that he wasn't causing some of these problems himself?
No, he definitely was. He definitely was. That's why when he used to complain about it, I never felt any sympathy for him whatsoever. Because, like, I've been in a situation, like, I was messing around with someone, like, on and off for 10 years. And we literally explained, like, well, we don't want to have kids. But it wasn't like a normal thing. Like, it was on and off for 10 years. But I still didn't want to have kids. He didn't want to have kids.
Yeah.
I was on the pill, but then I ended up getting, I think, like a chest infection. So I was put on antibiotics, which then messed up the pill. And I got pregnant, and it was a whole big thing. I was like, oh, what am I meant to do? But we spoke about it, and we made a decision not to have this child because that's what we agreed in the first place.
So then you got abortion after that then? Okay. And that was because they both agreed, because there was a conversation that took part before that.
Yeah, we both had a conversation. Like, in the beginning anyway, we both, we didn't want to have kids anyway. We were young. So we made that anyway. My thing, he should have used the condom, yes. But we just thought, we were younger then. And, you know, we're just like, oh yeah, things will work. But at the time, I didn't realize that other medication can mess around with the pill.
Yeah.
And that's where we were both naive. So we both had a conversation, and we both, you know, decided, this is the best thing. And to this day, we're best friends now.
That's good to hear. Well, listen, I want to say thank you for your call because we're wrapping up the show now. I want to say thank you for sharing your comments and your story as well. We do appreciate it. And just thank you for even phoning up and having your say.
Okay.
We got to my South London crew. Same to you. All right, peeps. I think we're going to leave it there for this evening in terms of the calls. I do think I'm going to end up wrapping it up now. Don't forget, each and every Thursday is right here on the Baby Father platform. Have your say from 8 p.m. I want to say today's topic has been a very good topic, a very interesting topic. And it's now showing us that these are the conversations that we need to be also be having in our community, but also with the young generation who's coming up as well. Because I do think that in terms of the pill, right? Now, for some reason, this pill, what's going on? Hold on. Let me just stop all this stuff going on here now before I actually get into it. Let me just stop all of this. Let me just leave it there then, yeah? All right, so what I will say is that this pill, what men are relying on women to take, I think some of us men are looking at this pill like it's going to save us from not getting a woman pregnant. Now, the majority of fathers who's come on the Baby Fathers platform on our shows, I think about 90% of them have all said that she said that she was on the pill, and then for some reason the child is now here, right? Now, to women who lie to men, regardless what the law is or not, if you're saying to the man, you're on the pill, you're on the pill. If you're not on the pill, there should be no reason to lie to the man to tell him, I'm on the pill, when you fully well know you're not on the pill. Even if you want to get pregnant, for whatever reasons, for whatever the reasons are behind it all, it's about being honest to that man there. All right? Now, to any men out there who is on this pull-out game, any of these men who's on relying on a woman for her to say, because she's on the pill, it's okay for me to do bareback. This week has taught me a lot in terms of from the last guest who was on our show. And it's about us men, we need to take responsible for our own birth control. And that is, even if the woman is telling us she's on the pill or not, it's for us to take control of this situation of, if I want to limit my chances, because again, you can use a condom, you can use a pill, and sometimes these things may not work, the condom might bust, whatever reason. But if you want to limit the chances of not having a child, I think it's for us men to more now start taking precaution from ourselves and start saying, raw, I need to strap up. Because I think at the moment, to a lot of these situations what some of us men are in or been in, it has come from this situation. And because we now got the younger generation who's coming up, like we all have boys, sons, we all have girls, daughters. We need to have these conversations with them to let them know what's out there, what can happen. We shouldn't be relying on the schools to be teaching our kids stuff, because they ain't teaching these kids this stuff, kind of conversation we're talking about. They're just teaching them the ABC stuff. They're just teaching them about how you have a baby. They're just teaching them about condoms, maybe the pill. That's what they're teaching them kids, the basics. But in terms of us teaching our younger generation on birth, on contraception and having kids and raising kids and having families and trusts and protecting yourself, that has to come from home or these kind of communities where we're having these conversations to pass on. All right. So I think I'm going to leave it there this evening. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet on the YouTube, make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you have not subscribed to the Instagram yet, follow us. Make sure you follow us now. And if you haven't followed us on the YouTube, so you see me on Facebook, sorry, make sure you follow us. What it is, people, I have been ill for the last 5 days. I have been in bed. Today is the first day of being out of bed because I need to talk to you people. So this is the reason I'm here. Straight after this, I'm taking some more of them sip, holding a shower, and going back to bed. All right? So listen, I'm going to say thank you to everybody out there. We really appreciate it. Don't forget to check out this Sunday from 10 a.m. a brand new episode will be out. And if you haven't watched the last episode from last Sunday, make sure you head over to the YouTube channel now and go watch the last episode, all right? So listen, from the baby fathers and myself, from DJ Riddler, peace. And we'll see you next week, Thursday, from 8 p.m. live right here on Have Your Sick. Be gone.